And so here on the top, you guys, we were talking about that thymus earlier. Look how large it is, that cat. And get rid of that.
So bye-bye thymus.
And we'll say bye-bye to probably a couple of structures. We're going to do our arteries first. I think it's arteries first and then veins. So you'll have a good time tonight. And again, if you want to take it home, you can take your cat home. If you want to share with someone. I've been trying to, I've missed the housekeeper, and I was going to ask her to open this room up earlier in the morning, but when she gets here, but haven't seen her. So if you want to look at the cat, you'll have to take it with you.
I think it would traumatize my children.
Okay. Well, you don't have, I mean, you know, you don't have to take it, but if you want to see, you know, and look at it, you'll have to. All right, we've got our little heart here, and in this little heart, the heart is in its little sac. And notice that this little sac has lots of adipose tissue that's around it. And we can pick and pull that adipose tissue off of the heart.
Gnarly.
Okay. And so even though we can see the hardness inside, it's going to be difficult for us to pick up on some of the vessels. So what we have to do is to sort of pierce this fibrous pericardium. That's nothing but connective tissue. Guys, we got to pull it off. Ugh. Be careful, because I might sling a little bit here. You guys have made me hungry. I'm hungry now since y'all started talking about being hungry. Okay, I hope I don't. Okay, I just won't try to take it all the way off. I'll just pull it up, okay? All right, wait, close eyes. Okay. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. 'Cause I didn't spray anybody, so that's a good job for me. All right, so this is our heart. And then on here, these are the auricles. See how they have the color in them, and you can see the difference, okay? So here on the right side, see that it's blue, pricking up those, that deoxygenated blood. On this side, it's red. A little bit of bluish tint there, and that's probably just a little bit of bleed through. In these, you guys, something about red dye. Sometimes red dye is really vivid, and you'll be able to see it really well. Sometimes it'll be really, really light pink and almost non-existent. You know how you buy something that's a deep red, and the dye has a tendency to run? Unfortunately, with these as well, and sometimes with the blue. So even though this, you can see it really well, all of the veins are going to be blue. They're dyed blue. All of the arteries are dyed red. In some cases, you'll be able to see them really well. In other cases, it may not show up quite as well. All right, so we've got our heart here, and then our first vessel that we're going to find is going to be our aorta. Okay, this little hump, you see a little pocket of adipose tissue. This little hump, this is our aorta. Okay? Yeah, that little hump, you can see it right there. That's our aorta. Okay? Right there. That's our aorta. Now remember that arteries are going to carry blood away from the heart. So as I'm telling you what these structures are, you have to remember that we're talking about from the heart and going out. When we're talking about the veins, we're talking about everything that's flowing from the outer up to here. So you have to remember that as we're getting ready to talk and discuss. Now when we're talking about the heart, we have a structure here, and this structure is called our brachiocephalic artery. The brachiocephalic artery is going to lead up to, try to get rid of some of that connective tissue. I don't want to pop that, that's, I'm just going to snip it. Okay? going to lead up to a certain point, and notice that we have 3 vessels here that are coming off of that brachiocephalic. This is our left common carotid, our right common carotid, and then this is our right subclavian. And they all come off of the brachiocephalic, okay? So our carotid is going to come up, all the way up along the neck. Now, in terms of, on this side, our subclavian, sub means under, clave means clavicle, okay? So our subclavian, you guys, is going to run along underneath the clavicle, and so it's going to be our same vessel, and I'm going to try to follow it all the way over. When it gets to the underarm area, remember that's the axillary area. So when it gets to the underarm area, it's going to be called the axillary artery. When it gets to the upper arm, it's going to be called the brachial artery. And when I moved here, people would say drive on old 45. I had no idea what old 45 was, or hit old 78. So I didn't know old from new. But when I was going along, like when you leave Fulton and you're going back to Tupelo, if you want to go to the Tupelo campus, y'all know what Tupelo campus ICC is, you get off on Auburn Road, and if you keep driving on Auburn Road, it turns into Easton Boulevard. And then I think when you cross Gloucester, it's not Easton Boulevard anymore, it's Cliff Gookin. So it's the same street, but it has different names. That's the same thing that this vessel. When it's here underneath the clavicle, it's called the subclavian, okay? As we follow that vessel on over, okay, we can all look for some nice treats. I'm hungry too, so don't worry, we all know. All right, so then here in the underarm area is called the axillary. If we keep following it, we'll follow it along to the upper arm area, and when it reaches the upper arm, gosh, go ahead and get it, then it's called the brachial. So it's the same artery, just is depending on where it's located. Subclavian, axillary, brachial, same vessel, just the name changes based on where it's located. All right, so that should help with that. The left subclavian does not come off the aorta, it comes directly off of the heart. So this is our left subclavian. Okay, it goes up again. So left subclavian, axillary down the arm, and then over here on the arm, that's going to be our left brachial. Okay, so that one, that's pretty cut and dried for that. Any questions about that so far? Trying to make sure I got everything at the top. Okay. All right, good. Okay. So any question about those vessels? Anybody need me to point out anything else?
Where was the common carotid?
Carotid artery?
Yeah.
That one? Okay. Right here. This is our left common carotid, right common carotid, coming up the brachiocephalic.
Okay.
All right.
It looked like
This is our right subclavian. They come up at the same time. All right, so good. All right, so we've got our heart, and so we need to look at the celiac artery, superior mesenteric artery. Okay. Now, depending on which way you turn this, remember that the celiac and superior mesenteric artery, those are going to be the arteries. Can somebody pass me a couple of pieces of paper towel? And you probably need a couple of pieces that are going to be close to you because some of these secretions are still in there. And you may want to sort of dry it out just a little bit. Okay. All right, this is our celiac artery, and this is our superior mesenteric artery.
Celiac was where?
Right here,
Right there.
celiac, and that's the superior mesenteric. And every time I have students say, oh, I think that's backwards. There is an inferior mesenteric that's lower, but again, we're just sticking with what we need to know so far. So celiac, and then also this is our superior mesenteric.
So celiac is above.
Did we already do the dorsal aorta?
That's next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so celiac, superior mesenteric. Remember that in our drawing when we did our hepatic portal system, these were coming off of our aorta, and I shared with you that the aorta is not just that aortic arch just coming up off the heart, but the aorta runs all the way along the back of the cat, and it's a large vessel. That's our dorsal aorta. Goes all the way down. Okay? All right. Kidneys. These are our kidneys. You want to be really careful with the kidneys because you'll have to do the urinary system. The kidneys are a major organ. So I'm just going to kind of pull a little bit here. Okay, when you say when the kidneys, the term renal, that's what it means. So this is our renal artery. And this is a split it. That's our renal vein. The renal artery takes oxygen-rich blood to the kidney. The renal vein drains the kidney. All right, so just a little renal artery. Okay, now we're down to the lower area. And again, if you have when you get down here, whether you have a girl or a boy, hopefully none of our cats are pregnant. I tried to pick some of the smaller ones.
Really?
Really? Yeah, sometimes they're pregnant and that's not good. I always just put those back. I just can't. But if you have a male cat, you want to be really careful down in this area because they have some delicate structures in this area. And you don't want to tear them because you'll have to find them. Right, real, yeah, you know, the testes are down low, but there are also some tubes that are there, so you just want to be a little careful about that. I'm just getting rid of some of this adipose tissue to help make it a little bit easier for us to see some of these vessels, okay?
Is that the large intestine that's running down through it?
It is, right here. Okay, so now we've got this tube here and tube, so again, we're going to be really careful because we don't want to do anything to damage those, okay? Oh, this lays out so beautifully. Yes, I probably will be able to get away without having to puncture anything. All right, our dorsal aorta coming down through here. This is our left side. This is my left external iliac artery. And this is going to be my left internal iliac artery. Right external, right internal. Down the center, yay. That's going to be our I broke it. Gosh, I can feel a little snap. That's going to be our caudal artery, and it's going to the tail. Okay? Comes down in the thigh area, where we're going to find our femoral vessels. So this is our femoral artery. So it's flowing downward from the dorsal aorta into external internal iliac into the femoral artery. That's our left femoral artery. Okay. All right, so any question about the arteries? Because that's all the
I
arteries.
see the internal and external iliac artery.
Yeah.
I couldn't really.
Right here. External,
Okay.
internal.
Right below it.
And
The
what's
pictures on our
central
test, are they gonna be dyed too? Okay.
All right, so no questions about those. If I could get someone to flip over to our little other picture. Yay, thank you. So we'll be ready for the veins now. All right. We'll start with our heart again, but remember this time we're not starting from the heart going out. We're just going to start here. We have our jugulars, and the jugulars are our large veins that are running alongside the neck, and it's a little difficult to kind of pick these up. did a little tearing on that side.